Whew. All right. Slowly but surely, I'm feeling more and more confident with that process. Hello, I am Maximilian Mormont, and this is the Coach's Corner with Max. And I'm actually featuring my good friend and also someone that I really admire as a coach is my buddy here, Ben Carter, Coach Ben Carter. Coach, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm doing great. I'm very, very happy that I got you on here. Episode one, I have you as my first guest. I would like you. Obviously,
at the same time.
I mean, obviously, I had a pilot. Full disclosure, I hit up Skip, and Skip was like, "Oh, I got this and I got that," and then you said, "Yeah, I can do it," and then he came back to me with, "Hey, I can do it," and I was like, "Ooh, I don't mean to be an a-hole, but now I gotta bump you, buddy. I'm sorry. I got Ben Carter, and he was like, Coach was almost gonna give me burpees through the phone, so." I was excited, and I'm excited to actually talk to him. But right now, I'm super pumped to have you, man. How you been?
Good, really good. Just trying to keep things afloat during all this stuff.
Yeah, it's been crazy, huh? Where are you? Here, I'm gonna skip a little bit here. Where are you located at? My little banner there.
Oh, you're good. Just in the Highlands in Louisville, Kentucky.
All right. Beautiful place. I know that I for sure wanted to take the Mormonts out there at some point. I really, really love that place out there. You have a gym out there?
Yeah, I have a gym. Headed now. Been in this spot for almost 3 years.
And you guys are a bluegrass barbell, correct?
Yeah, just changed over really. Kind of went from like the bluegrass barbell CrossFit Louisville to just mainly bluegrass barbell about a year and a half ago.
And then you guys are pretty competitive too. You guys go to local meets and then nationals. You got masters. You got quite a bit of lifters, no?
Yeah, we just had a meet at the gym yesterday.
Yeah, man.
Day. It was good.
yeah. How'd it go?
It was great. I think everybody did really well.
That's awesome. How many kids you have competing?
I only had 3 in this one, but there were 28 total for the day. So not bad in our little bitty slice of heaven.
So question for you. Give me a little bit of a history about yourself. I mean, where did you start coaching? Like, college, kind of what made you you don't have to answer like what made you coach, but give me your history of kind of coaching.
I guess I started really like coaching people back in like 2008, right at the start. Just kind of feeling it out, learning what it was about. Started my first gym in 2009. It was Derby City CrossFit, and then decided to go a little bit different way with that and started CrossFit Louisville pretty much in 2011. After that, just kind of evolved. Barbell Club, Bluegrass Barbell came around. I got really into weightlifting. I met you. It's crazy to think you and I have known each other for over 10 years now. Yeah,
man. I remember little skinny Ben, CrossFit.
Yeah, skinny Ben, yeah.
Already a pretty smart coach. Probably the downfall of the athletic career was you were too smart of a coach.
I needed to just have someone beat me up every day.
Too, right?
I'm sorry?
You're a pretty good golf player too, right?
I did. I played golf in college. I can beat it around the course.
You're no slouch. So that's quite a big history, right? You're a college golfer, and then you realize the love of a sport, and then you get into almost like strength conditioning to develop a sport, and then almost similar to me, and then the strength conditioning side just draws you out of it, and then you found another sport inside there, which was weightlifting, huh?
CrossFit really first drove me to weightlifting. I kept finding things that were harder, and it just makes it more interesting for me the harder it is.
Well, it's crazy how coming from college and then getting into other, like realizing the beauty of strength and conditioning and then focusing on, bring that down. If not, this thing is like in your face.
Yeah.
Realizing the strength of actual strength conditioning for an athlete and then wanting to develop that. And I never really got to develop much of that in college. We did a lot of field work, like dumbbells, kettlebells in the field, but not much like what we ended up developing now, right? Like even you.
Yeah, we did that as well. You know, when I played in college, I was the captain of the team, so they pretty much did whatever I was doing. So we were doing a lot of CrossFit style workouts just to stay in shape. You know, the better shape you are, the less tired you get by the end of the round, or a couple of day tournaments. So I think it helped. But as far as everybody enjoyed it, that's really was the key. You know, anything to kind of make it fun.
What was it like too? Like with the lifting, was it kind of like a boxer mentality? Like, ooh, lifting too much is going to make you bulky, so therefore you're not going to have a good swing. Was it still kind of that mentality, or was that kind of already weeding out?
You definitely wanted to keep the speed up. I wouldn't say that we were trying to really max out. I mean, technically at the time, I really wasn't into weightlifting as much, and I think that could have been pretty beneficial in doses. You just got to watch your joints. I mean, start trying to clean, jerk, or snatch too heavy too often. You can get a little beat up, especially with the forces that are involved in playing golf. But other than that, I mean, I think everything would have been pretty great.
Yeah, right. Like I feel like too. Like when did you go to college?
I finished up in 2009. So my last 3 years was right there. Then 2006, 2009, or 2007 to 2000.
Golfers were already into kind of training, like just doing strength training or doing some type of football training. Yeah, for sure. And I feel like the early 2000s, they 1999, Tiger's barely coming onto the scene, crushing it, and then developing size through 2000 through 2004. And you can see quite a development in the sport itself.
It's a whole different game now. Whole different game.
What got you into coaching? What physically got you into coaching?
You do stuff at the gym long enough, people start asking what you're doing. And then I really liked helping people. And then I was fortunate enough to meet coaches along the way, Coach Mike Bergner, Sage Bergner, you, Skip, all of you guys have influenced me so much over the years. And it never seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, right. Very nice. Very nice to influence people and really put forth an effort in developing someone. It's kind of pretty cool. What certifications do you hold or have you held?
I got pretty much everyone CrossFit offered for a lot of years there. USA Weightlifting 1 and 2. I've taught some of those courses. I have a yoga certification. I can't remember which one it is at this point. I'm trying to think what else.
USAW too, huh?
Yeah, it was such a cool course, and now what they've done with it is amazing. Teaching you how to take people internationally, the travel expectations, and it was the coolest thing. Mark Canello went over like these top 10 things that happen when you travel internationally, and sure enough, the first year we did it, every one of them happened. So it was pretty crazy.
That is no joke. What drives you to coach daily? Like, what's kind of your passion, or what do you look for daily?
Yeah, I would say I just really like to make people better. And it's the simple things, a little bit better posture, move a little bit better, something that's bothering them, an achy back, leg, arm, making them feel better before they leave. You didn't fix anything, but just making people feel better is really the goal. I always liked having something to do like that. If I had to just kind of watch you just like squat for fun, I'd be like, well, I'm gonna go now. Like, come get me when something's hard,
But mentally, physically, yeah, leaving with some type of like almost like a token is pretty cool to have that happen every day for sure.
Oh, for sure.
What is your ideal perfect athlete, client, member? Like, what do they look like? What are they, not physically, but like emotionally, mentally, when they come into your gym? What is the ideal person?
Dude, this guy walked in my gym like 8 months ago, and he's it. Like, he listens to everything I say. If I tell him not to do something, he doesn't do it. He asks questions. Like, he pays his bill on time. He's been amazing, and his progress is been really, really good. I mean, he came in with a 100-kilo snatch. He just hit 117 yesterday. His clean jerk's fallen behind a little, but he's very active. So summertime, he sweats a lot. He's dropped like 6 kilos without even doing anything. So I just think once that kind of like he can train at that body weight for a couple of months, his clean and jerk will go up 10 kilos. Like it's just been fun. Like
that's awesome. You just tell him a guy that whenever he tells somebody what he clean and jerks, and then he tells them what his lifetime snatch is, they'll like after he shakes their hand, they'll wipe their hand off like it's contagious. So I used to do that. I would tell people what I clean and jerk, and they'd be like, "Oh wow!" And then I would tell them what I snatched, and they'd be like, "Oh shit!" Yeah. Is that contagious? What happened? What's wrong with your snatch? Oh man, that's good. That's awesome. It's funny how you said just has to listen. When I tell him not to do something, actually doesn't do it, and pretty much being positive, being there all the time. You would think that that's very simple, but it's not for people.
What's cool is, he has a job that's very stressful, and I think I've seen him upset at the gym twice. Like he doesn't really bring it with him. But when he is, you can kind of tell, and you just leave him alone, and it's like, whatever. It's one day. It's no big deal.
He's earned it.
Yeah.
What is your not so ideal client or member? What is your not so?
Just don't lie to me. That's it. That's my not. I pay your bill on time and don't lie to me.
I like that. Like, no, coach, I'm doing it. Oh fuck, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah. That's it. Just don't lie to me.
I feel like I'm gonna make that a shirt. I'm gonna make that a shirt where the front side of it says coach and on the back says don't lie to me or something.
Don't lie to me.
Something like that. I'm gonna make a coffee mug that says I hate it here.
For sure. Yeah.
Just to mess with people.
Well, I mean, you told me no misses equal no maladaptation, 10 years ago, and I made a shirt of it. So
yeah, that's such a good one too. It's a fact. It's a fact. Hey, give me a funny coaching story.
Funny coaching story. One of my favorite ones is I tell people when you were here living with me, remodeling my entire business. And obviously I wasn't coaching you, but you're like, we're gonna work out together. And you're like, look, watch this thrower. Watch Gunther bounce all around the gym. And he goes, we're gonna do that. And I'm like, okay. So he's like, yeah, Max, you obviously. We're gonna do 5 sets of 3 back squats, and we're gonna do the hurdles, and we're gonna start at 20 inches. And we're going to end up at 30 inches. And it was like 5 boxes in a row. And I remember thinking, I was like, okay, we'll just back squat like, 315 or something, like nothing crazy, but nothing light. I'm not, you're an intense person. You're like, no, 85%. You're going to do 85%. We're only going to rest a minute. And I was like, I'm going to die. I remember doing those squats, and I'm like grinding out my 3rd squat because I don't know about you, but 85% is a little tough for 3 for me. And then I go over that first box, and I was like, you can't crap out. Like, you can't let Max see you like this. Never show weakness. And I tell everyone that story. That
is one of my, actually, I remember showing up, and then the windows and the wall and the metal and the boxes too. Yeah, dude, I remember that was a good time. I pulled some weight out there too. I was the first time I went into like 600s. Yeah. Yeah, man, I had a good training cycle out there. I remember too, like that was when I really started loving Gunther and his like that kind of brings me to my next question. His whole methodology, that kind of almost what I would call like a Scandinavian West Side, like conjugate system type of deal. We do a lot of stuff, a lot of crazy stuff.
I remember trying those. What was the back raises hanging off a box with a bar, like a barbell row? And I was like, we're going to die. Like, this isn't smart.
Concentric, isometric. Yeah, man.
I need 6 things in once. I want one exercise to cover everything. It's fine.
Imagine when I do this with my general pop and I have to, I cut percentages out for sure. I've learned that over the years, but to see like us like squatting and jumping every time, I'm like this. Oh, come on. Oh, come on.
They're going to make it. They're going to make it.
Oh, yeah. Luckily, we walk it, and I keep everybody on the lower side. But immediately you get somebody that wants that 30-inch box or 42 early, and you're just like, hey, it's okay. It's okay. Oh, man.
We knew foam boxes were the way to go.
Yeah, no joke. What's your favorite methodology?
Anymore, how it's a blend of everything, like I kind of like having the idea of percentage, of a linear periodization, but at the same time, I like, I'd love like kind of strong fit stuff I've been really liking lately, doing a little bit more of that, like the yokes and the sleds and things. Anymore, it's kind of funny that it's really just focusing on recovery.
Yeah.
And not being stupid like I used to.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing I have to do. And not just me, but any of my athletes. Like you're like, oh, we have to snatch heavy today. It's like, why? Is it a meet? Like, is it meet day? Then no, you don't. Like it's just Tuesday.
Yeah.
We'll see you tomorrow. Like you're gonna quit.
Totally. You gotta learn how to quit.
I got a buddy that he's been doing a lot of West Side stuff. If I was powerlifting, I'd 100% do his little hybrid that he's been doing of West Side. And she would ask me that and I wouldn't remember it. It's something, it would come to me. But anyways, he's got a beautiful system. He does a lot of Ed Cohn.
Yeah.
He's worked with him quite a bit. So
love Ed Cohn.
Kind of does a little blend of his stuff. And honestly, a beautiful, on paper, it's a beautiful program.
That's probably one thing
I don't think that's
is resting, recovery, learning to take days off, like full days off. That's how you get strong.
Yeah. I mean, it's, we tried the worst thing I think I've ever was told was that you only have, someone else is working harder than you. It's just, they never really told you how they were doing it.
Yeah, or when they were resting and stuff. Yeah.
Well, that to me, working harder is resting.
For sure.
I'm working harder than you because I took a day off.
Yeah, I have some athletes right now that all they have to learn how to do is for every hour they train, they got to put in 15 to 20 minutes of static stretching and 10 to 15 minutes of rolling out, and they wouldn't be injured. And they have no mental capacity to do that. Yeah. They don't gather that. I had some of them that realized like, oh shit, when I was in my early 20s. I actually did nothing all day but roll out and stretch because I had nothing to do. But now I'm a little older, and it has nothing to do with my age. It has everything to do with my inability to want to recover, And so It's even crazy to see them at their 20s start to realize that. What is now that you're talking about, what is your favorite program? Mine is snatch, clean, and jerk. But
what's my favorite program? So I took the LSUS program.
Mm-hmm.
And I modified that a little bit with a little bit more hypertrophy from a bodybuilding standpoint. And I really like it. It's worked really well for quite a few people. And more so of that, like they just they feel beat up, but in that, like, I call it a bodybuilding beat up where you just like your muscles are sore, but they feel full.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gone really, really well. I think it needs a few more tweaks as far as when the technical proficiency for some people kind of, because if you build strength, then you tend to change your technique a little bit. But other than that, like that one I always come back to. It seems to always creep back in, like you get away from it and you're like, oh man, I totally forgot about that one.
That's awesome. What is your favorite regimen? Like how many days a week? 2-3 days a week, or
3 or 4.
So 4, and then
active recovery is always great. I love walking. The nasal breathing is huge. I think it's because it's so I think it's so challenging to do, especially if you're trying to walk briskly. And playing a sport. Go play golf. Go play tennis. Go play basketball. Whatever. Like the one kid that I tell you I really like, he plays soccer with his girlfriend once a week. Like, and I love that.
I get kicked when I go play soccer. I'm always like, sure, no problem. And then I get kicked. And I'm like, and I get all upset about that. And then because I don't kick anybody. And then the other one I get is like, people are like, don't worry, we'll sub you out. And then they realize, oh shit, Mac's a pretty good soccer player. And next thing you know, I'm playing like 90 minutes and I'm getting like stitches. I don't have that kind of conditioning anymore. So then they just work me.
I don't want that kind of conditioning.
I ain't playing any sports. But yes, I tell people try not to go get crazy with it. But it's funny how well it is to get out there and be active versus being competitive. You know.
Yeah.
What's your favorite exercise? Barbell and gymnastics.
Oh, snatch for sure. Snatch and handstands, all day long. Love them.
I'm pretty good at the handstand walking, handstand push-ups.
Oh, that's just it's so fun, especially when you do it right.
What would be your favorite style of coaching?
Honestly, brother, yours was probably my top style. I mean, not to toot your horn there, but I always admired the way you coached. You handled people, the way you coached when you were fierce when you needed to be, but you were very welcoming when you needed to be. Like you handled a room so well. Like I always aspired to do it like that, honestly.
Yeah, having those like real honest talks, like right now will pay off more than anything else. But outside of like now, people are like, oh wow, he's a little too honest for me sometimes. But,
yeah.
It's like
I get that too.
Yeah, I had an athlete tell me once, and I really liked it. It was like it's like that person that you're dating that you really, really like. And then all of a sudden, when you have to go and like show them to your friends, suddenly you're somewhat embarrassed about them because they're either real loud or and it's like, I don't really know how to take this. I don't know if I take it as a compliment or like an insult, but bazinga, you know?
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I really enjoy that. I also really, really find it really interesting to tell somebody an exercise and then have them show it to me. And then I can improve on it. That's something where
that's my favorite.
Yeah, it's crazy how people just show something and like right away, and then they just expect now that person knows it. Like if they don't know how to conceptualize it and then develop it, and then you can improve on it, they're basically just trying to do what you did the whole time, right? They're just
exactly.
So it's interesting. What would you tell a rookie coach? What would you tell a rookie coach?
Oh, go get a mentor. Easy. Done. Next question.
Okay. What would you tell a veteran coach? Same thing.
Yeah, honestly, but the point is, don't keep your mind open. Like, I mean, I just watched. I've kind of his name's. I'm gonna brutal his name, but Ganbaru method, bodybuilder guy. Ooh. Puts out a ton of good stuff. So I'm just listening to bodybuilding videos and I learned some of the coolest tricep stuff that I never even thought about, neat ways to think about doing rows and things like that I've literally never heard in my life. And I was like, I would have, somebody didn't kind of like, hey, his stuff's pretty good, you should check it out. If I had the mentality of, when I CrossFitted, like, why would I want to do bodybuilding? It's like, I'm not doing bodybuilding. I'm improving upon a movement. And if I didn't think about it that way, and I wouldn't learn anything new.
Well, I think a lot of people don't understand the importance of like actual like athletic hypertrophy and how you can take a bodybuilding movement and then make it more like complex movement or multi-joint movement. You don't have to only just lock it down and create single joint movements from stuff. Like you can really develop on. And I don't understand why people don't understand that hypertrophy is a form of endurance, which is also a form of developing muscle mass, which develops ATP and output and horsepower if you train it that way. That's a big argument that I get in with a lot of people in regards to hypertrophy. And then once I separated it into more aesthetics versus athletic bodybuilding, it's a little bit different, but they both have their importance,
everything has its place. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, I think you stay a little more healthier to a fault. That's something that I wish I did more for my general pop, but we do that about 3 times a year. We cycle it in and out, but I wish I would piggyback on it a little bit more. But there's just so much,
That's your phase 1, right?
Yeah, phase 1, and then like our reboot phase 2, and then like the basically the maintenance phase at the end of the year that revolves around it.
I was telling you that some of that strong fit stuff. One of the coolest things I heard, I never really heard it that way, but he's like, people don't celebrate PRs enough. And I was like, well, what does that mean? Celebrate PRs. He goes, dude, I hit a PR. I take 2 weeks off. Essentially. I do nothing but body weight or like light dumbbells. I let my body recover. I celebrate what I did. and then it's time to start talking about the next one. I was like, gosh, that's such an interesting way to look at that. So sure enough, like you hit it, it has to be a significant PR. You're not talking about like, I did 10 more reps on my, barbell curl. But if they hit, like the kid who just hit a snatch PR in the competition yesterday, he has 2 weeks of nothing but isometrics, dumbbell work, single leg work, single arm, unilateral work before he'll touch a barbell again.
I think it's good to let the body reset mentality wise and physically, just getting prepped and hungry again,
Yeah. You forget about the hunger really, like after that week, you're like, man, I want to touch a barbell. It's like you start getting excited about it again.
Totally. What would you tell both coaches, a new coach and an old coach, if you had like one message to tell them?
What did it was Joe Mills or one of the coaches, one of the veterans said, I'm going to tell you how to do this in 10 minutes. It's going to take you 10 years to figure it out. That's what I tell them.
That's pretty much what it is.
Yes, it is.
What is your coaching message? Like if you had your message and you're yelling it from a bullhorn, what is your coaching message?
I would probably say work hard when you can and rest when you can't.
I like that.
You're either improving or maintaining, and maintaining the level that you think you should is probably a lot more than what it is. And to be, to not lose that much ground. Yeah. The first time you get a heavy barbell on your back or in your hands that first week, it's going to feel heavier than it should, but you didn't get any weaker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you're fine.
Yeah. Get over that. Yeah. Get over that. It just hasn't been there for a while, for sure. For sure. What type of community do you want to build? What type of like group are you building, or you trying?
It was funny. We were just talking about this. Like, I just want people that want to get better. That's it. Like, I don't want to, I really don't. If you just want to maintain, then that's not what my style is. Like, and not that we're going for getting better is so minuscule. Like we celebrate the 1 kilo, the 1 pound PR. Like I'm 100% in for that. A buddy of mine, Jeb, which he just hit a 1 pound PR on his deadlift at 601 pounds after not even being able to do anything really for a year and a half through a shoulder surgery and all this other stuff. And it's like, I was so stoked for him. 1 pound. That's awesome. Yeah. Like, what else do you need? Like, he worked really hard for that 1 pound. And anybody who knows what it's like to deadlift that much knows that sometimes you have to work really, really hard.
And to get back from something too. Yeah. Well, that's where my RPR came from. So that's like I have an LPR and an RPR, and every lifetime PR and a recent PR. And every once in a while, like if I haven't done like a max rep pull-ups and I get a max rep pull-up set or something, I'll yell that out in a workout. RPR! People are like, what is happening with this guy? But yeah, I celebrate the little things in life for sure. For sure. Ben, I want to tell you, man, thank you. I really do honor and appreciate everything you've done, everything that you've done for like the sport of weightlifting, CrossFit, communities, watching you develop as a coach, knowing what you've developed in your actual gym and understanding kind of your drive and your passion is just unbelievable. So I just want to tell you thank you. And I appreciate the fact that I had a process of being around you and watching you develop. And even now, watching you develop into a much higher level weightlifting coach than I was, it's just amazing to watch that, dude. So keep it up.
Thank you very much.
Badass. Thank you.
I appreciate it, brother.
Thank you. Yeah. Hell yeah, man. And we'll talk soon, man. Thank you for jumping on here. I miss you.
Ditto. We'll see you soon.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. Later, buddy.
Later.